This is K2 News at 5 on your side.
A 2-alarm fire in northeast Portland could impact your commute. Portland Fire and Rescue says it happened in the Overlook neighborhood. Crews were dispatched to North Ainsworth about 10:15 this morning. When firefighters arrived there, they found smoke coming from multiple doors. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us for this digital edition of K2 News at 5. I'm Barry Mangold. Portland Fire says residents in the Overlook area can expect traffic delays. TriMet says Max orange and yellow lines are disrupted because of that fire. Buses will be serving the stops from North Prescott Street to the Expo Center in the meantime. In other news this weekend, Portland police say officers arrested a man yesterday who they say tried to set electrical boxes on fire and threaten people with a machete. Just after 5:30, officers confronted the man in a cul-de-sac on Tamara Lane, which is right by the I-205 and 84 interchange. The suspect, 32-year-old Ben Billop, allegedly ran from police even after getting tased and even crossed all of the lanes of I-205 and running into a neighborhood. From there, Portland police say that he broke into a house and stayed inside for hours, still armed with the machete. Eventually, police used a robot to get inside. That's when Billop allegedly escaped again. Officers say he tried to climb a tree to run away, but he got stuck in blackberry bushes and was arrested. Tonight, Billop is booked in jail on several criminal counts, including burglary and menacing with a weapon. Plus, we're working to learn more about a man with a sword who's evading police in Lane County. Officials there say deputies and state police responded to the area of Terwilliger Hot Springs yesterday on reports of a disorderly subject swinging a sword around and inhaling nitrous oxide. The sword wielder left before officers arrived. Later, a deputy reportedly saw him driving back towards the hot springs. That deputy attempted a traffic stop. The driver was identified as 33-year-old Andrew Hamilton Dimmick, a Crawfordsville resident with several warrants out for his arrest. Dimmick ran away on foot, according to police, and as of now, he remains at large. We'll be keeping you posted. Plus, Oregon City police have arrested a 23-year-old who they say tried to stab an officer. Adonai Gabriel Escamil will face multiple charges, including attempted murder. Just before 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon, police say they responded to the Jiffy Lube on Beaver Creek Road on reports of a suspicious man. That's when police say he pulled out a knife and attempted to stab an Oregon City officer. Police say he then ran away but was stopped and arrested. The man reportedly trespassed at the same Jiffy Lube earlier in the day, but when officers tried to stop him, he ran through traffic and got away. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office says the incident is under investigation. Tonight, police in Washington are investigating a deadly stabbing that happened inside the Muckleshoot Casino early this morning. Police say around 1:30 this morning, a man randomly stabbed another man inside the casino. Police don't know, or do not believe, rather, that the two men knew each other, and they say it does not appear they had any contact prior to the stabbing. Now, some casino visitors are questioning how a weapon could make it inside the building, adding that the resort is typically a safe environment.
Yeah, it definitely makes me feel a little nervous coming here.
How did they get through with security being, with weapons and stuff like that?
Police say they are now also looking into who the suspect is and how often he may have come to the casino. He was booked into the King County Jail on pending murder charges. Police have not yet identified the victim at this time. Now we're taking a look ahead to the beginning of the work week. We'll be tracking multiple major court appearances happening tomorrow. First, the 27-year-old mother accused of killing her 4-year-old son will appear in court. Janet Garcia faces charges of first-degree murder. She's accused of stabbing her son Ariel more than 40 times last month, then dumping his body along the side of the road in Pierce County. Just a day before the murder, Garcia's mother was granted emergency guardianship of Ariel and his half-brother. She had argued that Janet's drug and alcohol abuse made her an unstable parent. Garcia is being held on a $5 million bail. Also happening tomorrow, the U.S. Supreme Court is set to hear oral arguments in a case brought by lawyers on behalf of a group of people who are homeless in Grants Pass. The case was first filed back in 2018, and in 2020, a U.S. District Court in Medford ruled the city's fines for sleeping outside violated the Constitution, amounting to cruel and unusual punishment. The city appealed that ruling, and in 2020, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals upheld that ruling. Now the U.S. Supreme Court is set to make the final decision. Since then, both Tacoma and Seattle, along with other major cities, have filed briefs backing the case. A decision is not expected by the Supreme Court for several weeks. KATU is on your side. We'll be tracking all those court cases and more, and we'll bring you the latest on air and online at KATU.com. Federal law enforcement is on alert for any potential threats to the U.S. Jewish community ahead of the start of the Passover holiday, which is tomorrow. Speaking to a group of nationwide security officials last week, FBI Director Christopher Wray said the FBI remains concerned lone actors could target large gatherings, high-profile events, or symbolic or religious locations with violence intended. Passover begins at sunset tomorrow. It ends after nightfall on the 30th. After a historic fire on Thursday night, the Timberline Lodge is now back open. The hotel and ski area were closed since Friday due to that fire breaking out late Thursday night. The closure gave crews time to make inspections to where the affected areas are from the fire. The ski area reopened yesterday. The hotel as well reopened today specifically. And coming up at 11, we're going to talk to visitors about this reopening. And we are not done with space news just yet. Tonight may be your best chance to catch a glimpse of the Lyrid meteor shower. The shower will be at its peak tonight. You better keep your eyes peeled, though. This year's display will be competing with the full moon for attention. Still, for observers away from city lights and with a wide view of the sky, it may be possible to glimpse 10 to 20 meteors per hour, with peak times just before dawn, late tonight, that is. The Lyrids originate from the debris trailing behind the comet Thatcher. They will be visible near the constellation Lyra, which resembles a harp and inspired the name of the meteor shower. Now, the big question, though, is will we be able to see it? So
I have a good answer.
Okay, what do we got,
Because we
Allison?
have clear skies tonight, which
That is a
perfect.
great answer. Okay,
yes,
fantastic.
perfect. Clear skies, but that means our temperatures are going to fall really low into the 30s, so it is going to be chilly if you're looking for them.
Good to know.
Let's talk about today, though. Temperatures are currently sitting in the 50s for us here in the Portland area. Some of us are in the 60s as well, spread throughout Oregon. But let's talk about the Touchmark camera. Just a few clouds out there. We're seeing a lot of that sunshine over in Hood River. This is a look from the Visit Hood River camera. Temperatures in the 60s, really nice. And a final look at the Stoller Family Estate camera. You could still see some of those clouds out there. Now, let's talk about what's happening on radar, because we just have a few scattered showers. Most of them are north of Portland, so in the Longview area, up in Washington as well. Then I want to take you over towards the Pendleton area, because there are some of those light rain showers, pretty scattered as well. There's some heavier rain just right here, but overall, it's been a very dry day. Lots of that sunshine we saw on Hood River, and then just a few clouds. I want to talk about tonight because we have this frost advisory everywhere in this blue area. Our temperatures are going to fall down into the 30s tonight. Clear skies are very likely, so it's good for the meteors, but the temperatures are not going to do so well. They're going to stay in the 30s, close to freezing as we go over east. Here's a look at around 10:30 tonight. Very clear skies. We go into Monday, staying really nice and sunny. We could see a bit of clouds as well throughout Monday, but mostly sunny, and it's Earth Day, so it's perfect to have a lot of sunshine on that day. Now, as we get into Tuesday, a few more clouds, so a mix of sun and clouds. Wednesday, we have some showers starting to move into the area. They're going to stay pretty scattered as we go throughout the day. And then on Thursday, we have a complete shift. Upper level trough moves in. We're going to have some widespread rain showers. The Cascades are going to see some snow showers, lots of cloud cover. So completely a switch on Thursday, also much cooler. And then as we head into the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday each have a chance for some showers. Temperatures are going to get much more seasonable as we go back into the 60s. But let's talk about our temperatures right now, because we are in the 60s. 61 in Pendleton, 64 in the Dalles, 62 here in Portland, 55 in Tillamook, and as well in LeGrand. Now, I do want to talk about those overnight lows along the coast. So they're going to be in the mid to lower 30s for some of us, in the 40s for Lincoln City, but the 60s, your afternoon highs for Monday. Now, the Valley is a different story. We're going to get a bit warmer in the Valley, getting closer to the 70s in Troutdale. Some of us are only flirting with the 70s, like Aurora, Scappoose, both around 68 and 69 degrees. Temperatures tonight still in the 30s as we wake up tomorrow morning. And then let's talk about the Cascades and the Gorge, because there is some varying here. 65 for the Dows, overnight lows in the 30s, overnight lows close to around freezing in Hood River, below freezing in Government Camp and the Welches, right at freezing, highs in the 50s and the 60s. And then lastly, let's talk about central and eastern Oregon, because that's where the coolest temperatures are going to be. So around 29 in Baker City tonight. Should wake up tomorrow morning right around freezing in Pendleton, 31 over in John Day. Temperatures for your highs tomorrow afternoon in the 60s, 63 in Pendleton, 66 in John Day, and 64 in Baker City. Let's talk about the 7-day forecast. So 71 for your high tomorrow here in Portland. A really beautiful day for Earth Day. Lots of sunshine. 73, mix of sun and clouds on Tuesday. Then we get much cooler as we go into Wednesday. That upper level trough moves in. Rain is likely on Thursday, pretty widespread. Friday, chances for showers. And look at those temperatures. There's right around average. That's going to continue as we go throughout the weekend. So more chances for showers towards the end. Tomorrow, beautiful Earth Day. I'm excited.
All right, a lot to look forward to. But before you go, Allison,
Yes.
there is one story that I know that you've been following. I want to talk about it here. Researchers are testing a space robot on Mount Hood. You've been following this. Can you tell us more about this?
Yes, so it's actually a bunch of universities. Multiple universities have been researching, including Oregon State. They've teamed up with NASA to test a walking robot on the terrain of Mount Hood. They're trying to see if this robot would be able to withstand the surface of the moon or even other planets like Mars. NASA often uses rovers, but their hope is to use this four-legged robot that will be able to roam through the terrain. You could have some ice or rocks and the different planets in the future. And we spoke to a member of the project and the OSU team. Her name was Christina Wilson, and we asked her why they would choose Mount Hood of all places.
Yeah.
Mount Hood is our lunar-like environment. So our moon has tons of craters, and there's a lot of uncertainty right now about basically the structure of those craters, how much lunar ice is present. So Mount Hood has a lot of variations in slope and these kind of valleys that run down the mountain. It also has glacial ice.
So their plan is to test this robot on the moon as well as Mars someday in the future. They also plan to test it at White Sands National Park because of the sandy environment that mimics that Martian surface. And this summer in July, the teams will head back to Mount Hood to test the robot once again.
That is interesting stuff. You never know what's going on in the mountain. Allison, thanks so much.
Very exciting.
Now, turning now to other news, a decade after Oregon passed a law recognizing animals as capable of feeling things like pain, scientists in other states are taking up the issue. Dozens of scientists have signed a New York declaration on animal consciousness. Nearly 40 researchers signed the declaration, which was published on Friday. It says there is strong scientific support behind the idea that birds and mammals have conscious experiences. It also says there is a realistic possibility of consciousness in creatures from reptiles to octopi, crabs, and insects. Earlier this year, in fact, lawmakers in both Washington and California considered bans on octopus farming. That's another species scientists have found strong evidence of sentience. Interesting stuff there. And of course, we are still on our egg watch here at K2. This is a live look at the Port of Ridgefield's Osprey cam. We've been watching this bird for days now because the port tells us there are 2 eggs in that nest, and we're hoping for a successful hatching any day now. And we are told that the Osprey camera is a partner project with the Ridgefield School District, Clark Public Utilities, and the Ridgefield Raptors baseball team. We're just waiting on this egg to hatch. One day at a time. We'll keep you posted on this for sure. And other news now, dozens of people in Salem slept with a little extra peace of mind last night. Yesterday, the Red Cross teamed up with Marion County Fire District 1 to provide the smoke alarms for local families vulnerable to home fires. It was part of the Red Cross's Home Fire campaign. It's been credited with helping save more than 2,000 lives over the last 10 years. Among the volunteers were players from the Salem Capitals professional basketball team. Well, that's it for this digital edition of K2 News. Thanks you so much for watching. We're going to have more news for you coming up tonight at 11. In the meantime, have a great rest of your Sunday.